Question number 151. Gene of interest was cloned at site HIND3 in PBR322 by a researcher and then transformed into E. coli. The recombinant plasmid will exhibit, and the options are susceptibility to tetracycline, resistance to both ampicillin and tetracycline, susceptibility to ampicillin, and resistance to tetracycline only. Now, as you can see in this diagrammatic representation of E. coli cloning vector PBR322, we can clearly see that HIND3 is not located in any of selectable marker sites, which are ampicillin and tetracycline resistant sites. So, when gene of interest is inserted at HIND3 restriction site, then selectable markers, that is ampicillin resistance and tetracycline resistant genes, they do not get inactivated. As a result, recombinant plasmid will exhibit resistance to both ampicillin and tetracycline. Now let's discuss the options. The very first option is susceptibility to tetracycline. This cannot be a correct answer because the recombinant plasmid will exhibit resistance to both ampicillin and tetracycline. So the correct answer is option number 2, resistance to both ampicillin and tetracycline. The next option is susceptibility to ampicillin. This cannot be a correct answer to our question. And the last option is resistance to tetracycline only. So this cannot be a correct answer because this recombinant plasmid will exhibit resistance to both ampicillin and tetracycline. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 152. All of the following features can be used to distinguish between cockroach and frog except. So we have to find out that based on which feature we cannot distinguish between cockroach and frog. The very first option given is closed circulatory system, and this cannot be a correct answer to our question because cockroach has open type of circulatory system whereas frog has closed type of circulatory system. So as based on this, we can distinguish between cockroach and frog, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question. Next option given is internal fertilization, and because internal fertilization occurs in cockroach while fusion of gametes of frog occurs in water, that is external fertilization occurs in frog. So as based on this, we can differentiate between frog and cockroach, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question. Next feature given is dorsal heart, and as we know, cockroach being an invertebrate has dorsal heart, whereas frog being an chordate or vertebrate has ventral heart. And as based on this, we can distinguish between cockroach and frog, so this cannot be a correct answer to our question. The last feature given is bilateral symmetry, and as based on this, we cannot differentiate between cockroach and frog, so this is a correct answer to our question because both frog and cockroach, they exhibit bilateral symmetry. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 153. Select the correct statement, and the very first statement given is chronic inflammation occurs in elephantiasis due to accumulation of blood in lymphatic vessels, and this is an incorrect statement, so cannot be a correct answer to our question. This chronic inflammation occurs in elephantiasis, also known as filariasis, due to accumulation of lymph and not blood in lymphatic vessels. The next statement given is cancer is the most deadly infectious disease, and this cannot be a correct answer to our question because this is an incorrect statement as cancer is the most deadly non-infectious disease. This is an non-infectious disease. The next statement given is transferring of preformed antibodies across placenta to fetus is an example of active immunity. And this is an incorrect statement, so cannot be an answer to our question because transferring of preformed antibodies IgG across placenta to fetus is an example of passive immunity. And that too of natural type of passive immunity. The last statement given is ability to distinguish between self and non-self cells is compromised in case of rheumatoid arthritis. And as it is a correct statement, so this is a correct answer to our question, because rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disorder in which ability to distinguish between self and non-self cells is compromised. So the correct answer to this question is option number 4. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 154. Match the columns and select the correct option. In column 1, the very first option given is Euspongia. Euspongia is a sponge, which is commonly known as bath sponge. And collar cells, also known as choanocytes, are present in Euspongia. So A option in column 1 goes with third option in column 2. The next option is Pleurobrachia, and Pleurobrachia is a ctenophore, and ctenophores are characterized by the presence of 8 ciliated complates for locomotion. So B in column 1 goes with first option in column 2, use cilia for locomotion. So B goes with first option in column 2. The next option is Macropus, and Macropus, which is commonly known as kangaroo, has marsupial pouch to keep their young ones. So C option in column 1 goes with fourth option in column 2, marsupial pouch. So C goes with 4. And the last option in column 1 is Hippocampus, and as you can see here, Hippocampus, which is commonly known as seahorse, has a prehensile tail. So last option in column 1 goes with second option in column 2, prehensile tail. So D goes with 2 in column 2. So the correct answer to this question is option number 1, A with 3, B with 1, C with 4 and D with 2. Correct answer is option number 1. Let's discuss our next question. Question number 155. Cells not present at fovea of human eyes are, and the options are rods, cones, bipolar cells and ganglionic cells. And as you can see here in this diagrammatic representation, at fovea, cones are densely packed and rods are absent. Rest of the cells like bipolar cells and ganglionic cells are present at fovea. So the correct answer to this question is option number 1. Cells not present at fovea of human eyes are rods, whereas as cones, bipolar cells and ganglionic cells are present at fovea, so these cannot be the correct answer to our question. So the correct answer is option number 1. Let's discuss our next question.